Hello everyone and namaste. My name is Ram Avnur and this is Astrology. As usual, we're doing a weekly astrology survey, and this time we're in the midst of a very testing time with many retrograding planets. So today we're going to understand a little bit about what is the meaning of this period and why the worst thing we can do now is make an impulsive emotional decision. Hi again. So let's look at this week's astrology. As I always say, these readings are a global, speculative reading to understand the nature of this period and the energies available for everyone. This cannot be, and isn't meant to be a personalized reading for you. For that, you need to do a transit session in which your personal horoscope is compared to the energy of right now. Having said that, let's see what's going on. So the hottest topic right now, after we've been through the solstice, is the retrograding planets. We're having 6 retrograding planets right now. We have Neptune, Venus, Mercury, as well as Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. This makes people a bit stressed because there is a rumor that retrograding planets are bad. So let's understand what is actually going on. First of all, retrogressions are regular activities of the planets that are a part of nature, and they're actually an optical illusion in space. So it looks from a subjective standpoint of the observer on Earth that some planets once in a while loop backwards. So they go in their normal trajectory, then they slow down, stop, loop backwards, slow down, stop, and then move forward again. Every planet retrogrades sooner or later, some many times a year, like Mercury that retrogrades for 1/3 of the year actually, 3 times a year for about 3 weeks, like what is happening right now. Some planets retrograde much more seldomly, like the faraway planets, the distant planets, such as Neptune and the rest of them. Now, retrogressions speak to a process of seemingly slowing down or going backwards in order to move forward again. We all know that there is the crisis before a breakthrough. That means that in order for us to break through, we need to clean up something in the foundation. Like you cannot build the 3rd floor if you don't have good foundations. Now, it would be ideal if you would have internal evolutionary foundations well placed to move forward, but it is seldomly the case. We all have unresolved past issues, some from this life, some from past life, and that is why the retrogressions are periods in time in which we are allowed to become aware, usually through challenges, that some things in our core are not aligned yet, and then the retrograding period is a great time to become aware of the difficulty, but also to resolve it. So always remember, a retrogression is a time that first gives you some troubles and reflections, and once the retrogression is done, then you have the energy to actually implement what you have learned. So let's look a little bit into the retrogressions that we're having right now to understand what they are asking us to do. So first of all, I will cover this one quickly because we've been through this in many of my past videos. I'll put a card above. So Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are retrograding until around mid-September because they stop retrograding slightly in different times. And this is relevant because these are the planets that are responsible, astrologically speaking, to the COVID crisis. And these planets have been retrograding for a while now, and they will be retrograding until September, like I said. And that means that from the global standpoint, as well as the individual standpoint, this is the time where the real reflections, conclusions, and understandings are supposed to emerge within us about the COVID crisis. At the level of the planet, humanity is supposed to get a reflection and get a conclusion about a new and better course. Fingers crossed that's going to happen, but really the only way for that to happen is for the individuals to do it. Remember, we cannot analyze humanity on the group resolution because free choice is given to individuals, not to groups. And that is why if you want to see a change happening in the planet and this planet becoming better, that we're going to come out of the COVID as a better civilization, the first question that needs to be asked is, what did I realize about life, reality, and myself during this crisis? What needs to die in me so that I can be reborn and move out of this crisis as a better version of myself? So until September, this is a big process that we all need to go through about the conclusions related to the COVID crisis. Now, talking about Venus, I will link the card above again because we've been covering Venus for a while. Actually, today is the last day of Venus's retrogression and it's going to move forward again. So we had issues with communication and empathy in relationships, and it needs to getting resolved right now. So if you had a tough time in relationships and communication, it's over, it's going to get better, but don't just relapse to how you were before. Really sit with yourself, with your partner, with friends, analyze in a deep, honest, sincere and authentic work what you have learned about yourself in regards to emotional expression, communications and relationship, so that you can change certain patterns that have come up and were reflected to you in this period. So now the crisis is over and the time to start implementing your conclusions is coming up. And as a continuation of this process, now we have Mercury retrograde in Cancer. And it's actually a continuation of the same transit, because when Mercury retrogrades, again the communicational aspects are impeded, but this time it's about our ability to get in touch with our own emotions. So when Venus was retrograding, it was about getting in touch with our emotions and communication with our partner. When Mercury retrogrades in Cancer, it is more related to our own inner universe. So that means that the intellect and the mind can come on top of our emotional needs. And that is why in this phase, our emotional intelligence, our EQ in regards to ourselves is a little bit weaker, and that is why we are prone to make decisions which are not in our best emotional interests. So that is the nature of this Mercury retrograde. On top of that, you can expect troubles with technology, communications, and electricity, because Mercury also, when it retrogrades, it influences technology and our ability to communicate with other people. So this is not a good time to buy a new computer. It is not a good time to invest in media. It is not a good time to try to fix a computer. And it's fine because it's going to last until the 9th of July. And that is why it's not such a big process. Now, on top of this, today we have Uranus in square with the moon in Leo. The reason this is important is because whenever Uranus is in square with the moon, it pushes us to do abrupt, impulsive, emotional, dramatic changes in our life. And because we have all these retrograding planets, I would say this is the worst time to make an abrupt emotional decision, especially when it comes to money, work, and relationships. This energy can make you feel like you are trapped in a claustrophobic situation you don't want to be in anymore, and just break everything and run away or change or quit or break up or something like that. Don't listen to it. This is a sinister energy that is going to make you do something you're going to regret. That is why when it comes to the urge to do something sudden and change the routine, take it easy, drink a cup of water, wait a week or so, and consult with your friends and family members before you make a decision. I have not included the retrogression of Neptune in this discussion because it is a whole different matter. It doesn't influence us directly in our daily life, and I will keep it for another video. So this is this week's astrology survey. I hope it gave you insights and some guidance about how to handle this situation. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I will try to address them in my next video. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Hi guys, thank you so much for staying put and watching the video. If you like this content and you want to help the channel, please like it, share it with anyone you think it might benefit from this content, and comment below if you have any questions, suggestions, or ideas to what you would like to hear me talk about, and I promise to make an effort to include it in my next video. Thank you so much, and I send you lots of blessing, and may this time go smoothly for all of us.